It's just slow growing.
Slow growing.
Yeah. I'm almost tempted to shave it.
No, you came this far.
Podcast. Your Bike Talk Authority. Not to mention the most entertaining and talked about podcast with your kick-ass host, Richard ORTIZ.
You mad? Come at me, bro.
And his loyal kick-ass co-host, Senor Cole Escovedo. Streaming live and worldwide. Coming to you all the way live from a little place somewhere in Cali. The Fighter's Voice. Kick-ass Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast. This is the last show of the year 2020. We're going to do a recap of all the events that took place in 2020, some of the best fights out there. We're going to name some awards. I wish we can give out some awards, but we will anyway, like a Trainer of the Year, Fight of the Year, Knockout of the Year, etc. And who's going to be who in 2021. When I say that, who's going to be the new star out there? The new prospect, the new contender, and who do you think will get Fight of the Year? What fights do you think will be made? What fights should be made? And who do you think will get Knockout of the Year? And we'll talk about this fight coming up this Saturday on DAZN Golden Boy Promotions with King Ryan Garcia. Enough said. Those are just our topics that we're going to hit on today and have some fun and do a little recap on some of our guests and some of our funniest guests and some of our animated guests and some of our guests that just, they just answer like yes, no, okay, etc. And enough said.
Every once in a while.
Oh, we do. And ladies and gentlemen, look who just woke up. Look at the handlebars. Look at the stash in the cash on my man right here, Mr. Cole Escovedo, the MMA UFC veteran. There you go. What's up, Cole?
Oh, not much. Just looking at the end of the year, wondering what 21 is going to be like. It's looking like it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of bets going on, a lot of money pools.
Yeah, exactly. And one of them has been, are we going to have live crowds? And I guess we could just start off with that. I know Texas is they have allowed an audience there. And people that have been there firsthand said a lot of them are not even practicing the precautions of wearing a mask. It's just been a free-for-all in Texas at the last fight.
Yeah, Texas kind of just does their own thing. Like, this has just been that way always, so big belt buckles, do what you want, I guess. So, but I wouldn't say it's probably not full venues. They're probably not full seat venues.
Yeah.
But not really having any safety protocols just seems like you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, even if you don't agree with the procedures or protocols, like if you want to do business, just that's how you got to do business right now. Like, you keep your doors open. That's just how you got to do business. So I would say it's harsh. We saw, who was it? Somebody was going to throw an event, but they said, Disneyland was going to open back up, but they were told they can only do 20% of their overall capacity or something, which came out to like 500 people, whichever is greater. So Disneyland was like, dude, no, we need way more than 500 people a day, or we're going to have to charge like $1,000 a person. So Disneyland was like, nah, we'll just wait. So you've got a lot of venues that they're just saying, screw it. And if you have the backing of your governor, your senator, your mayor, all that kind of stuff, if all those people are in the same boat with you of thought process, then yeah, I could see them throwing events like that.
Let me stop you right there. When you say get the backing of the mayor or the senator or whoever allows that, and I look back at that movie Jaws, when the chief of police was telling him, do not open up the beaches. And he goes, are you kidding me? It's 4th of July weekend. It's summer. We're going to open up those beaches, but I'm telling you, there's sharks out there. No, we caught the shark. There is no more sharks out there. What did he do? He opened up the beaches. What happened? Boom.
I mean, that. It just alone with the fact that you're having factual mutations of the virus showing up in the UK. Now you've got that case that showed up in Colorado. It's the first US case of the mutation that popped up. So having that, not really, like I said, not really following protocols, just seems like you're setting yourself up for failure at this point.
Exactly.
When it comes to throwing events, remember, you want to be on the good side of the athletic commission for whatever state you're throwing the venue in, because they're the ones that have to sanction your fight. They can just go, no, We're good. We're not sanctioning any more of your events. Like they have the power to do that, similar to like restaurants where the city can't really fuck you, but ABC can come in and try to put pressure on you for your liquor license. Now that's a whole entirely different thing. You're not really violating ABC rules. You're just violating compliance laws as far as the city ordinance is gone. It's not even laws, it's ordinances. It's fine.
Exactly.
So,
and when it's all said and clear, they're gonna go back and remember, okay, who listened? Who didn't go over my head? Who didn't feel that they were higher than the law? And that's why Dana White, when he had a chance to come to Lemoore, he just said he was looking at the big picture and said, okay,
yeah,
I'm not in a hurry right now. If we waited this long, we can wait X amount of weeks and make this happen. So when the doors do open again, I'm in good standards with everybody else, especially a big company, a big corporation like Disney. And
yeah, and let's not forget, remember, those of you watching at home, don't let Dana forget. He promised us the UFC at the Palace.
Yes,
okay,
a big event at that.
A big event. So when venues go back, it doesn't even. Here's the thing: it doesn't even have to be a live event. I mean, that would be preferred. I mean, what's the point of having a venue at the Palace if you can't even go? So well, we obviously prefer it to be a live event. But remember, Dana, Uncle Dana, you promised. You literally went out there and said, because the Tachi Palace stepped up and offered their venue, they were like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to throw a show. We want it to be you. Come on out. We'll host it.
We have that on the Fighter's Voice archives, so we'll backtrack.
Yeah, we got that in there somewhere. That's all over the internet.
Yeah.
Like no one's going to let them forget that.
Hey, I want to say something just to clarify something. And then we'll move forward from it. Again, yesterday's show, in no shape or form or capacity did we make light, did we make fun, did we joke about this disease that is killing people, this COVID, this virus is out there, okay? So let's make that completely 100% clear. I got a comment yesterday that during our show, that we were making light of it. When I say that our guest was making light of it and laughing and making jokes, which is absolutely false, which is absolutely incorrect. And if you look at it, it's a grotesque statement. And it was made, and I understand where this person is coming from. They're going through some things right now, some things that the normal human being would not want to go through. But nevertheless, we want to protect our show, the character of the show, the principle of the show, and most of all, protect our brand and our guests. In no shape or form allow anybody, if they wanted to go down south or down north or west or whatever, we take full control of what the show, the direction of the show. So I wanted to clarify that for the record and make that completely clear, because there was our guests didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Co-host SHELLY didn't say anything. So let's make that clear. It was said, it's documented, and let's move on. What's up, Cole?
That said, I'll find fucking humor in anything. I don't care if your grandma died. I'll find something funny about it. So that said, you have to understand that with everything in life, if you refuse to find the fact that you can find the humor in it, it is what it is. Everything's going to happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Cancer, people get all kinds of stuff. It's bad. I understand. I empathize. But at the same time, if you refuse to see the fact that you can find light or humor in any situation in life, be it all for a self-distraction, to distract a family member, whatever the reason behind it is, you can have it. That doesn't mean you're necessarily degrading or lowering or raising your nose or whatever someone's blight is. That's not what it means. So you get all these people like, oh, there's nothing funny about cancer. There kind of is if you look at it from certain perspectives. So the fact is, I've had lots of people who've had cancer in my life. Does that mean that I think what they're going through is funny? No, of course not. That's where people take it wrong. You disagree with their point of view, so they take it as a personal attack. It's like, no, dude, I'm just agreeing with you. I find this part of it funny. I don't know what to tell you. Like, no one's ever going to stop me from finding humor in something, but that doesn't mean that I'm placating or lowering whatever it is you're experiencing. Because if you're experiencing something, if it's bad to you, it's bad to you. Like, that doesn't make it any less bad. I think C.K. Lewis said it best. When you make somebody feel bad, whether you think you made them feel bad or not, you don't get to decide whether you made them feel bad. Like, you can't say, oh, no, you can't feel bad about that. Like, you said something that hurt their feelings. You hurt their feelings whether you agree with it or not. So the same concept goes is, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry it hurt your feelings, but I'm not going to apologize and take it back. I thought that shit was funny. So you just have to understand I'm not brown-nosing it.
No, I understand that completely. My point was, if you're going to accuse make sure facts are in order and everything.
Factual. Yeah.
Exactly. And I will say humor is the best medicine. I'll say that, and then I'll move on from this. When I was getting ready to speak at my son's service, the first words that came out, the first sentence, and then people chuckled. And then I said, okay, this is where we're going. I said, and then the words came out, humor is the best medicine. And then we went on from that. And I could not have ever done anything in my life that was 100% perfection. That day, nothing but perfection came out of my mouth. And that wasn't me. That was anointing over me. That was the Holy Spirit touching me. And just that whole service was blessed. So being that said, we'll move on because humor is the best medicine. And
that would be the way to explain it.
Yeah.
Not that you can find something funny about something, but
absolutely.
Humor is the best medicine. It's there if you look for it.
Exactly. So talking about, man, humor and stuff, I mean, I still can't get over Conor McGregor, man. I mean, he's one that just goes against the grain, makes stuff happen, shot calling, and his whiskey, the brand that he endorsed, I don't know how much shares that he actually owns. It's everywhere. It's not just in MMA. It's in boxing now. Big boxing events by
weren't you asking, was it you that was asking me the other day about what Dana's connection was to Monkey Head whiskey or something like that? No, it was my cousin. My cousin asked me about that because Monkey Head Brew or Monkey Head Whiskey or something like that. It's a new company that he's promoted a little bit, but it's a liquor company, which I imagine that's not. I wouldn't say it's direct competition to something like Conor's, but I guarantee you, him and Conor sat down at some point and Dana kind of said, hey, kind of talk me through the steps of what you did when you branded this product. Like, how'd you get the wheels going? What hoops did you have to jump? Like, they talked to their team at some matter because Dana White didn't just do this on a whim or, I want to invest in this. No, Dana White invests money where he sees a return, small or big. He
doesn't throw money away.
Exactly. I don't know. I've seen some shitty fighters they picked up, so I don't know. Back in the day, I think they wasted a couple dollars here and there.
Hey, I will say this, and let's talk about that relationship they have. They probably go at it at the UFC press conference, said, I hate you, F that. But remember, we got a meeting Monday at 2:00 with the whiskey. They'll both be there for that business. You know what I mean? That's the way shit gets done.
Yeah, but with guys like Dana and guys like Conor,
I know they don't want to back down.
No, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think either one of them would want to back down, and it would just be very, like, they probably wouldn't even do the meeting at that point. They would just probably have their representatives go and say, you guys fucking negotiate it. I don't even want to be there. I'm busy.
Well, I think for 2020, Conor McGregor is still shot caller. He's going to be shot caller in 2021 until he either gets knocked out cold, taps out, or just does something like bonehead shit. But he is still.
But he's done boneheaded shit already.
He's done. Yeah, he has. I can't stick up.
Like, he's done some dumb shit, like throwing a trolley through a bus window.
He's still. You know, I really think about that only for the simple fact is they use highlights of that to promote the fight. When they put that in their highlight reel, at first, what did Dana say? Oh, that was grotesque. I can't stand it. But it was in the UFC commercial. You got to get this fight, blah, blah. And I'm like, so you start putting two and two together, and it's big genius business. It really is.
So here's the placation behind that. That was clearly done on purpose. Like, that was almost staged. Like, yeah, it was real, but like, I think they wanted it to happen.
Cole, can you imagine you're chilling in Fresno and you have this kind of money and someone picked on your nephew all the way in fucking Brazil? So you just get on a private jet, go over there just the way you are, just to throw some shit through a window and say, where are you at?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Can we do that now?
So that happens, but then you get a guy like Paul who like does a drive-by toilet papering to his teammate Dylan Dennis, and then you don't see or hear of any retaliation, which tells me that both were fake to an extent. Like, both were staged to an extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost to a point where you look at them now and you go, come on, you're not even trying at this point. Like, you're not even trying. Dude, you got to make it a little more believable. Like, hell, walk into their gym. Walk right up to them. Like, do something. Yeah. But, like, there's got to be – they're trying to – you get a guy like Logan Paul or Jake Paul or whatever the fucktard's name is. You get a guy like that, he gets the big picture. You know what I mean? He sees it in him.
Hey, as we speak, he's going to give us a shout out. Okay. I was just told by his people, we're going to catch him in a good mood. But it's like, hey, business is business. It's all
business
good.
is business. But at the end of the day, he knows it. But that's the thing is, he knows this is an entertainment era. He knows that this is how it's going to start going.
And he's driving it. He's genius.
Yeah, and he's driving that truck. But I don't know, dude. I think the big payday is going to come with like a big ass whooping.
I think someone's gonna ambush him. I really think, but he's smart because he's starting to hang out with some big dogs that are now on his payroll, and I think he should.
Yeah,
I think he should for precaution reasons, and anyways, just for celebrity reasons. But
it's that, and you got to look the part. You got to look the role. You got to look like you've been. I like to Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. Like you got to have proof.
Exactly. All I can say is someone could talk shit and not do anything. He is putting in the work for what it's worth. Whatever you can shape and mold this thing, they're doing it. There is real professional fighter. This I know for a fact. There is professional fighters at his camp. He is in a real camp with professional cut man.
Oh no, that
all the way from that, because the guy that wraps his hands. We spoke on the phone personally. Actually, he was a guest. Hey, what's up to Marky? He's the one who designed the shirts. That's what's up. So remember the shirts, the nice ones that you like?
Yeah, the soft ones.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, he
can go to a camp and all, but if you're not meant to be a great fighter, you're not meant to be a great fighter.
Oh, I didn't say anything about great. I didn't say anything about great or champion. He's trying to put up a good account of himself. Come that day with
we'll probably see like three tops fights involving him. We'll get a couple entertainment fights. Here's the things. I would really like to see him fight just like a real boxer. Find some boxer that's like 5-0, 6-1, 9-1, something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And have him fight a real boxer. And if he wants to fight an MMA guy, then everyone's been saying the same thing. It's obviously at this point. If he wants to fight an MMA guy, come over and fight him in the cage. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
I think he'll get destroyed. I think he'd have a better chance boxing a boxer, like fighting a boxer. But like, if you want to do some freak fight, we always toss those out there. Do a boxing fight, do an MMA fight in the same weekend kind of thing. But I don't know. I think box a boxer, we can actually see what his boxing skills really like. Because if you box an MMA guy, a boxer or a striker, it's fucking so what? You're supposed to win. Good woo. Good for you. Yeah. But if he fights him in an MMA fight, I think he'd go wrecked. I think he'd probably do better than CM Punk.
Yeah.
I think he takes it a little more seriously. I don't think he just transitions over like, oh, I'm a wrestler, I'm an athlete, I'm gonna do it anyway. I think he actually thinks he can do it, and he's trying. But
well, I mean, at the end of the day, what are we doing? We're freaking talking about him. We had 10 minutes on him. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. Hey, I do want to say I talked to the other half of the Fighter's Voice out there, Eric Hernandez and Shelly Hollis. They're getting ready to make great music together starting next week.
Oh, nice.
And, I just got a text. I don't know if it's just a little stab in the ribs there by Eric. He just mentioned the name. I got to read into it. It says Teofimo, which is Teofimo Lopez, which is a big, huge name. And I know they're in contact with them. So, hey, more power to it, rocking on the Fighter's Voice. That's something to look forward to. And as far as us, man, I'm waiting for this COVID to die down a little bit. We got some big plans. And I want to give a congratulations to a buddy of mine that I talked to today, which I can't mention his name. If I mention his name, then I can't mention what he's going to be doing in 2021. So without mentioning his name in 2021, he just got a letter 2 days ago that says, congratulations, welcome to the WBC, which is the World Boxing Organization by Suleiman. And actually, happy birthday to the WBC. It's their birthday today. And that is one step in the right direction. And when I spoke to this person today, without giving too many hints, because they're going to make an announcement, he said, Richard, my goal is to make the Hall of Fame in a certain category that has never, ever been a category for the Hall of Fame. So when this person makes the announcement, we'll clarify everything. But hey, congratulations, bro. And we'll be talking soon. And I appreciate the phone call we got today. As I was talking to him on the phone, he said, hey, have you reached out to a certain fighter? And I said, no. He put on a three-way, put me online with that fighter and his dad. We just booked him for next week. So that's what I'm talking about. Iron sharpens iron. We appreciate that. You know what I mean? And those are the connections and that we like and that we appreciate.
Something that there's never been a Hall of Fame inductee for before. So you've got promoter, boxer, cutman, cutwoman, corner, trainer. I don't think they've had a ring announcer inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't think they've had a judge inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Those are judges. A lot of those do get inducted in the Hall of Fame. Referees. Okay. I mean, you had Cortez. But you know what? I'm going to say this, and this is a big hint, okay? And I'll leave it at this. You got to remember, when these fighters come to work, they have certain attire on them. They have certain things on them when they go in the ring. You look good, you feel good, you play good, you are good. So there's certain category, and his feet are still on.
Is this guy?
Hey, don't say the name, man. Don't say the name.
On. No, I won't say.
No, I can't say the name.
But hey, was the movie Apollo or Creed?
There you go. There you go. Okay. Wow.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Too much. Yeah, you said to hey, congratulations. We didn't say
that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a big link up to pick up for to be welcomed into.
It is, because I have some of his I was with them from ground zero, I can say. One of them I was there from the start.
I knew I'd narrow it down.
I'm just you did. Because he kept fucking digging.
Yeah, no, exactly. He committed to his craft and he pushed it farther. See, guys, that's what I'm talking about, guys. You commit to your craft, and it's something that just the pieces will fall into place. This is really all they're doing.
Yeah, well, they are. We're talking about the pieces falling into place. This year, we got one of the biggest boxing matches in boxing history. We had two of them. We had Tyson Fury, the rematch with Deontay Wilder, and then we had Teofimo Lopez, and we had Lomachenko. So, we're going to be moving around because once we hit that category, we will we'll stay on that. But I figure we can go back and forth. So, to me, those were the two biggest fights made for 2020. And, I have to go with Fighter of the Year. I'm going to go right on. It's an easy call right here, and that's Teofimo Lopez. Fighter of the Year when it comes to boxing, not just with the top rank or not just with the governing bodies that he's with, worldwide. Teofimo Lopez is my Fighter of the Year for 2020. My runner-up is the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, because he is who he says he is. That's in the boxing world.
Yeah, I see that. But why Theo? He only fought once this year, right?
Not only did he fight just once, as soon as he won his first title, his second fight after the title, he didn't even get to defend it against him, an opponent. He put it up for grabs and took on the monster, took on Godzilla, took on King Kong. And that was Teofimo Lopez, who in many's eyes was pound for pound, the Matrix, the pound for pound king, the fighter that was unbeatable, the fighter that nobody can get through, can solve the mystery, can solve the puzzle. Teofimo went in there and, imposed his will, his strength and his size.
Against Volley?
Lomachenko? Yes, exactly. Even though
I saw him crying the other day about how he was blaming the judges for his loss, and I read that, and I'm just like, come on, man.
Well,
you don't do shit for 5 rounds, and then you lose. You can't cry.
I will say this. I don't agree with the scorecards of the accounts. One judge had him not winning a single round.
Yeah, I didn't agree with.
But will he feel better if he says, okay, we had a split decision and him still not win? Either way, a win's a win, a draw's a draw, a loss is a loss. I have Teofimo winning a close fight, and he is.
I would have seen it as a better
25 of the year. Yeah, but if he was going to say something, maybe he could have said something right afterwards.
But now, so my question on the Teofimo fight: how long before that fight had it been since Lomachenko had a fight that year?
Oh, he had one earlier that year. Actually, he had one against. I'm not sure if it was, his last fight, I want to say it was Campbell, the one who's fighting Ryan Garcia this Saturday. And he took him the distance. That was an easy fight. Campbell actually says, because of me, I softened him up for Teofimo. But he had a chance to put a stamp. All fighters do say it, took him the distance, I
just love when fighters say that, I softened him up for you.
They did. You know what I mean?
Lost.
Yeah, I softened his hands up. I softened his hands up for you. You know what I mean? Right. But he could have put a stamp on there. He could have said, okay, I went up there, I took care of business. Now I'm in control at 135 pounds. But see, had Teofimo, if he would have won Lomachenko, if he would have won the fight, he wasn't going to stick around at 135. He could tease at 135. Anyway, right? No, he's going back down. He was going back down to 130s. To 130s. From 135, the fight was at 135. He was going to go back down to 130s because he has no business with these big boys. Because you got Tank Davis, that's another big boy. You got Ryan Garcia. You got a lot of big boys up there. So with Teofimo winning the fight, it's good for boxing. First of all, it's back in the USA. And second of all, it opens the doors to see a Teofimo, possibly Jose Ramirez fight, Mikey Garcia fight, even Josh Taylor fight. A Regis Prograis fight. he's right in the mix now. And I think he is going to defend. That's the plans, that he's going to defend at 135s in Australia early 2021, with the undercard being Maloney and Professor Franco, because they had the rematch. It was kind of controversy according to the judges and what have you, the referee, about making a decision on the cut. And nevertheless, they're going to run it back in Australia. That's what I'm hearing, and that's what has not been officially announced yet, but it's been the talks of a Top Rank. So if he would defend it, yeah, exactly. So, he's actually having conversations with the Eddie Hearns of the world, not just the Top Rank boxings, but the MTKs of the world, and to go global or national. Because anytime you can go fight in Australia and make a name for yourself, not make a name, but continue to tour the world, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how you become a household name in a brand.
Yeah, it allows you to get your brand exposure into an in-person audience. It's one thing when you're fighting on TV and they watch you in another country. It just doesn't get your marketability out there. But when you're out there in that country, you're doing a lot more press, socializing and stuff with the local fan base and stuff. So
yeah,
that's where you get that household name branded. Now they've watched you live. It's different than watching you on TV. They've actually watched you live now. That sticks with them for some reason. I'm not sure why. In person just hangs out better.
Yeah, well, they get to see you, man. I mean, you get to go out there and they get to see everybody's visual. Absolutely. Live crowd. So yeah. And speaking of Australia, Maydad sent me the new video for this week so I can post it. My man Maydad in Australia at Bonda Boxing in Australia, all the way from Australia, man. We got a follower in a true team member of the Fighter's Voice, Maydad. I mean, he's always putting out those cool videos. I don't know if you saw that other one. He gave a shout out to both of us. He was in ESCOVEDO all the way from Australia. Yeah, cool dude, man.
I get the notifications every once in a while when we get dinged every once in a while. It'll be all, ooh, WBC owns that. You can't have that. And I'm like, shit, damn.
Yeah, stingy. Yeah, I get tagged on that too. I just did the other day too. And be careful.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. It's like, dude, I've met. It's like there's so many different loops and red tape and stuff to jump through just to use footage for content. It's ridiculous.
There's more flexibility on Twitter. You still got to be careful though. Instagram, you got to be careful of hackers. I almost walked into a hacker last night because I did post that video from Fast and Furious, an actually video, and I kind of felt I'm gonna get stinged a little bit, but maybe I should have just looped it. I thought I got away with it, and it said, hey, you kind of copyrights. But a little
that you ain't take that because it's with anything with a movie in it or anything like that's gonna get.
But Noe G was our guest last night, man. I mean, this guy was down to earth, and again, used the Fighter's Voice platform to feel comfortable, and he sat there and just felt at home. It was like three homies talking in the garage. He was real relaxed. Nice. He's down to earth, man. Telling us about how he got his break. And if you haven't watched it, man, I mean, go to our website, the YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice, man.
Did he have any cool projects that he could drop?
He has an idea for a new movie, and he's just looking for that. He's writing, putting the characters together.
Yeah. I read something about that, about a little bit of a snippet biography about him that he was looking at. It's a heritage piece or something like that.
Something. It's like the Mexican version to Friday.
Yeah, that's right. He was doing something that had to do. It was culturally specific to Latinos and stuff. So that makes sense.
But there's some big names that he was going to drop on there, just not ready to do so yet because some big names.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he associates with all these guys, but it was pretty cool because he told us his whole life changed. He showed up to an acting class just to show up because he was there with some girl that was there, and he was kind of making light of everything, making fun of everybody, and he didn't know there was a producer there, and he said, hey, how'd you like to be in a Taco Bell commercial? And he was like, okay. So X amount of dollars just to show up. He goes, all right, cool, whatever. He did it, whatever. Didn't think anything big. And he didn't know the way Hollywood works or how commercials work on how you get paid. And he told his guy, he didn't even have an agent at the time or a manager. He said, hey, man, I keep getting these checks, bro. Am I going to get in trouble or what? And he said, no, man. Every time this thing plays, you get a check.
You get a certain amount of money, yeah. It's a royalty.
Well, he said, this commercial, I got paid for like a whole year of just checks coming in, and they, played for about a whole year and a half. He said, I went from nothing to something in no time.
Nice. That's good.
So that was the motivation to get into acting. And when he landed Fast and Furious, as you know, his whole life changed.
Yeah, that catapulted him, and then he was able to land that co-role with Training Day. He's done like 20 years worth of work. That's what a lot of people didn't realize. I had a couple buddies that were coming on we're like, oh, he plays one role. I was like, dude, he's been in it for like 20 years, bro.
But hey, pays the bills.
I did go and read his film biography, though, dude. I did find it hilarious that every single role he plays, though, he manages to get the name Hector.
Hector.
Like, every single role, it's Hector. And I was like, that's got to be on purpose. Like, he's got to go, no, just rewrite it. I want to be I'm Hector. I'm Hector. That's who I am. So I don't think he's falling into that category risk of getting typecasted, though, but he's done roles that actually required him to commit to the acting profession, not just phone it in. So that's where I think he's getting his respect and his credibility from, is because whoever the character is, you believe that character 100%. You believe that dude was a street racer. You believe that dude was a gangster. Like, he plays it perfectly. Like, he envelops whichever role you give him. And that's something that a lot of people get typecasted for.
Hey, look at Machete. The guy who played Machete, the dude from prison. I mean, he's making a living doing it now. I mean, that's all the roles he ever got, and now he's doing really well.
Danny Trejo.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And now he has a following and he has a platform. Actually, I tagged Mario Lopez, and he liked it, and invited him to watch the show. Yeah, that's what she's called him, huh? KFC, Mario Lopez.
Well, dude, have you not seen that commercial, bro?
No, I have not.
Dude,
I missed that one.
There's a Lifetime original. It's like Lifetime or Hallmark. It's like Sexy and Spice or something, and it's got fucking Mario Lopez on it. He's got this white Colonel's mustache and shit, but he's all like buff and like short-cut sleeve shirt and shit. But it's supposed to be like some romantic love comedy or something. Still, I don't know. It looks real. And that's all I can picture now.
The guy never ages, man.
I guess, man. Chicken sells, I guess. I don't know.
Hollywood. Hey, but I didn't know KP and Noel were in the same movie. And Noe were in a movie together.
Oh.
Before we went on air, they were chopping it up. And he goes, refresh my memory, and told him about a movie that they were in. So he goes, okay.
Which movie?
I can't recall. KP can tell you.
KP was probably fucking punching someone anyway.
No, he said he was the Chinese guy that got killed or something.
Shocker.
Yeah, shocker. No, the Chinese guy that do karate. He says something like that. Yeah, that's just like a white
karate guy number 5 or something.
Yeah, just like a white guy going to college, right? Boy, I'm shocked.
White guy in the background.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Hey, man, so who's your fight of the year in the MMA world, man?
I went back and I looked at a couple. There were just some good fights, but not really like, fight of the year. Like, you go back and look like the Cerrone McGregor fight. That wasn't fight of the year, but that was a great fight. You know what I mean? Things like that. So
I like the Diaz fight.
I picked up and I had to narrow it down between Zhang and Jerzecki. I'm messing her name up. Jerzecki, however.
Yeah. I know what fight you're talking about.
Yeah, that one, and then the Figgy and Moreno fight. The title fight that ended in a draw. Like, that's not something you see every day.
Yeah.
Like, you rarely see a title fight end in a draw, and to have it be that back and forth and actually go, damn, I don't know, man, you might have done enough. So to have that and then have it come back a draw and not like a split or unanimous for one guy or the other, that's the kind of thing that you label up on fights of the year and stuff. So I'd probably be leaning more towards Figgy and Moreno.
See, that's like, I don't want to get my ass kicked by Alex, but that's like Alex saying, I'll soften him up for you. Right?
That was a good fight too.
No, Alex had the right game plan too. This guy's just a chameleon. He's able to adapt to all kinds of stuff.
And that's why I kind of
traps.
That's why I actually picked him on
Alex. Alex came to fight.
Yeah, no, well,
and he earned that shot.
Fight.
Yeah,
he didn't come with any other expectation other than leaving with that belt.
Exactly, I agree with you.
When a guy like Figgy stops you, that's Figgy's the deal. That's why, like I said, Figgy was my main guy for the fighter of the year. Just back-to-back performances like that against a guy like Perez and then a guy like Moreno, like, on what 20? What is it? Like 28 days, less than that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was a 24-day turnaround or something. Yeah. So to have that quick of a turnaround and have those kind of performances back-to-back just show you the kind of fighter that he is and what his caliber is that we're going to see. I would say he's an easy heir to the throne after guys like Demetrius and the Midget King, Cejudo. So
yeah,
I think he's a very easy heir. If I would actually put him, like, I would put Cejudo here, Figgy just above him, and then DJ just above that.
I want to see that fight. He left because he noticed a storm coming, or he just left just to leave. But he left with some fights on the table.
I just don't think he really saw much challenge at the time. Figgy wasn't even really in the picture at that moment, I don't think. Or maybe he did see the writing on the wall and saw a guy like Figgy coming down the pipe and going, maybe I just go ahead and dip with my belt undefeated right now. That way I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know? And he's gone nowhere, by the way. I haven't heard shit about Cejudo. I thought for sure he would have landed with the WWE or something, but I've heard nothing. So
no,
I guess retired is retired for him.
Well, COVID will retire you too. So being that said, wait, hold on. Before we even move any further, our condolences to the Garcia family, Robert Garcia, Mikey Garcia, and Beta Garcia, and Big G, the entire family. They lost their mama yesterday, and our hearts go out to you. Our condolences, and our prayers are with you to get through these tough times. So, from the fighter's voice. So, Cole, now who do you think is going to be the prospect? Who is your prospect of the year? Your surprise for 2020? Just come out of the woodwork.
You know, the prospect, I would say that I wouldn't really say prospect. It's somebody she needs to get picked up. I picked up Melissa Martinez. She's 7-0 right now. She's currently the Combate's 115 title holder for them. I think she's kind of been flying under the radar a little bit. She's been kind of aggressive with her wins. And that's, if I had to pick a prospect right now that nobody really knows, but I would say it's going to be Melissa. She's racked up some pretty impressive finishes. And like I said, she has a belt right now. Combates is a great show, but it is still feeding into the bigger shows. People are still going through them, getting their sowing their oats, I guess, whatever you want to call it, getting high, good caliber level experience. It's not an organization that's allowing you to pad your record. Like, you got to earn your wins. Like, we've seen some of those fights that are like so off the radar, but they were monster fights that nobody's going to have ever heard of because they weren't at the venue itself. So you get a lot of those. So you're not just padding your record with a group like Combate. You are building good record experience against tough opponents so that you should be ready to sink or swim when it comes to the next level opponent, be it Bellator, UFC, ONE, whatever you want to go to. So somebody to have a belt in the organization, like Combate right now, that's kind of a 7-0 area. It's time to get some more exposure or move on to a Bellator or UFC level 1. So she would be my prospect as far as those to pick up. I did have some contenders, but realistically, that's an easy one. Contenders of the year are real easy. Anybody that's been given a contract from Dana White's series over this last 8 months, that's really the only way to go about it, because we've had such a lackluster ability to really gauge against any of the organizations and really get any fights out there. You got PFL, I think, did 1 or 2 shows this year. LFA's done a couple near the end of the year as things started to change with the landscape. But other than that, it's just been UFC and a couple little sprinkle of Bellator here and there. But it's been UFC fucking balls to the wall. So it's hard to really look at contenders outside of that. Given what we've been exposed to, which unfortunately has really only been Dana White's Contender Series. And that's a great place to look for your contenders, because Tough's going to come back, which, like I said before, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to start cutting all kinds of fucking people, dude. If they're going to bring back the Ultimate Fighter, dude, why bring it back too? You've already got the Contender Series.
How are they going to do it right now, man? With the masks and stuff, and just.
Well, here's what they'll do. They'll put you through the bubble process, and then guess what? The house is now your bubble. The gym is now the bubble. Like, there's 2 bubble locations that they'll have that they know keep secured and clean, and you go from the pad to the gym. That's it. Back and forth from the pad to the gym. All the entertainment and TV content will take place at one of those 2 places. That's majority of the time where the tough shows took place anyway. And you don't really need masks if you're all living in a house that long together. They're going to put you isolated for probably about 10 days before they put you in the house together. And then anybody who doesn't come back dirty or doesn't show symptoms or anything, they're clear to go into bubble. And then you're at the house for 6 weeks or however long the series is. I don't remember. But I think it's pretty doable. But my current concern is for the oversaturation of the market, what we're already currently getting. We're just pumping out fighters with Dana White's Contender Series that do we really need the Ultimate Fighter? And if we do, is it going to be so fake and scripted like it was starting to get near the end? Everyone was just kind of like, hey, do you watch something? Dude, I stopped watching after like 8 or 9, like it just started to get too scripted. There
was too much time on their backstories. Bro, let's just get them in the cage.
Which you need to build brands.
A little bit, but it started turning into, like a novella, like a story, man. Like, come on, bro. Let's.
Yeah.
But it's entertainment. But that's also a good way to draw in new fans. It really is.
Yeah, but that's what the Contender Series is for. So you can be in and brand and market those guys from the ground up when they come into the UFC as a pro and then build their way up. I mean, dude, the perfect example was Alex. Alex came in through the Contender Series program, And then next thing you know, he's fighting for a fucking belt. So the system works. Dana White's system works as far as the Contender Series goes. Why I think you're muddling the water by bringing the Ultimate Fighter. I just really do. I think it's oversaturation of the market. Too many names. If you got so many names to follow, dude, you're gonna just not follow them that closely.
Well, I'll say this: my prospect of the year for 2020 was an easy one in boxing, and that goes to the Puerto Rican himself, man, Berlanga, who's had nothing but first round knockouts. Nothing but first round knockouts, and a big boy, 168 pounds, walking around at 175 pounds. This guy he hasn't even broken the top 10 yet. He's hanging out with the likes of Snoop Dogg, P. Diddy, actors, lawyers, attorneys. His favorite food to eat is tacos. He'll go there like 2 o'clock in the morning, put on his IG, eat tacos in front of his fans, followers, and supporters. I mean, the man has cement in his fists. So definitely, I mean, he was I don't want to say he's a contender yet, but he's definitely a prospect going into 2021. He will be a contender. As far as my contender of the year for 2020 was hands down, I mean, Virgil Ortiz, plain and simple, period. Until he gets that shot of an opportunity of a title. You got to remember, this guy, I mean, hits like a mule, man. He's one of Jose Ramirez's favorite chief sparring partners. And I don't want to call him a chief sparring partner, but Jose, when he gets ready for a fight, all I need to do is go a couple of rounds with Virgil Ortiz. And I'm ready to go, you know. But these guys that hold a belt is Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, and Bud Crawford. So these champions are all recognized as top of their game. I mean, you can close your eyes and grab either one of them and say they're going to win 10 in a row, or these are some bad dudes. So he's in there with the big boys. I think at the end of 2021, he'll be ready to crack one of those titles and put it around his waist. So that's what I'm thinking. My runner-up was Alvis Rodriguez. I mean, he's doing a great job with Freddie Roach. Whenever you talk to Freddie Roach and you mention Alvis Rodriguez, you see this smile come on his face, and he gets young again. He knows what he has, and he has that signature. After he wins by knockout, he'll go in the middle of the ring and hold that guitar. You know, he's running this whole thing. Got some following from the Dominicans, and the guy hits hard, man, and he shows some boxing abilities, shows some skill set, and it's hard not to put him number one in any aspect. I mean, you can call him a contender, put him over Berlango, but then again, he's just caught in the middle. You know, that's just limbo. Yeah, that's just my opinion. So you named who your contender prospect was in 2020. Who is going to be your contender prospect in 2021? Any names anybody young coming up, or anybody that's sort of just come out of the woodwork, or you got your hopes up?
Melissa would pretty much work. Like I said, Melissa would pretty much work for my contender for the prospect for now or for next year too. Like, she needs to get picked up to add to that roster anyway to kind of bring some more talent in. And like I said, anybody that's been doing well in the Contender Series, they're going to be. And realistically, like I said, the landscape is going to be a mentality of where we're going.
What about
one organization? What
about Melendez's wife? That girl can bang. Melendez?
Oh, Gilbert's wife?
Yeah,
she'll probably be in there, but they'll probably bring her up through Bellator. Is where I would see them bring him. Got a good relationship with them. They've got a history with Croker. They'd be able to get I never say the right fights. It's just you pick certain fights that you feel will challenge your fighter. Fights that your fighter should win if they show up and do their job. And if they don't, maybe they have a bad day, you know? So, but you got to, in this day and age, you got to pick your fights correctly so that you can, it's a matter of how tough is the opponent? Is it somebody my fighter can beat? You know, if it's somebody your opponent, you know, can beat. And then the other half of the coin is how marketable is it? How much profitable is it? What is beating this opponent going to bring us? You know, so there's a lot of that in that variables of what they're going to do with her too, but maybe they fast track her, maybe just let her beat a couple chicks up and then give her a title shot and then let her get some marketing behind her and then go. But it's hard. Like Gil's NorCal fan favorite. It's supposed to like SoCal. I don't know if he has as big of a following base except from his time on like Fox and
what's Melendez? What's her first name? Carrie, I believe it is.
Yeah, I want to say it's Carrie.
Yeah. No, man. I mean, she I was impressed. I was told to watch Eric's one to turn me on. He said, "Hey, man, you got to check her out, man. She has skill set." And I started watching some highlights and just watch her live fight, man. She doesn't play around. She has that killer instinct.
No, I would definitely not expect a guy like Melendez with the guys he trains with to teach her anything other than aggressive fights wins fights. So, I mean, that's really what it boils down to. If you're punching, you're not getting punched, is that whole philosophy. So,
well, my prospect of the year that's going to be coming out in 2021, and a lot of people may disagree or say, okay, I'm late. He's already a prospect, and he is a prospect.